Those main principles today. And the first, which coincides on again time, today, October 12th, is recognized by CARICOM as a day of reparations. And so the first principle of Ogunomics is reparatory practice and justice. And so when we go out and we are seeking the support for the work that we have to do in our communities, I call on us to see funding and support for our cultural work, not as charity, but as reparations. Reparations is not just about a financial figure, it is also about healing the psychological effect of being considered someone else's property. What that means for us is that we continue to see ourselves not only as not fully human, but also unworthy of being adequately and justly paid for our labor. So the first principle of Ogunomics is for us to consider asking for help not as begging, but as economic reparations for centuries of damage, and also our free, creative, and physical labor. Every act of making, every costume sewn, every drum carved is an act of economic resistance that we do not benefit from as a community. And so that brings me to the second principle of Ogunomics that I'm going to share with you today, which is community-owned infrastructure. Ogun teaches us to make and own our tools. Unfortunately, we have become so desperate for visibility that we have not seen the need for us to own the means of enhancing our own visibility. It's not just about it's not just about being on the stage. It also has to be about the tent owners in our community, the stage and lights owners. Who are we renting the scaffolding from? Who owns the venues that we are staging our events at? Who are we renting from? When festivals, and especially Carnival, are not just about creativity, they are about the logistics. And for us to be truly independent owners and producers of our culture, we must own the means of production. We are forging our own infrastructure, one meal, one rhythm, one idea at a time. And so Ogunomics is not just about doing the outer work, it is about doing the inner work and figuring out what value means to us, not just in terms of our performance, but in terms of our ownership of the means of production. Before we can build community wealth, we must refine our mettle, discipline, honesty, courage, and humility. Wealth without wisdom is rust. And although our spirit is strong, our tools and our weapons must also be strong. So in closing, I want to ask us, what are we forging? What is in our forge? What tools are we creating to fight for the freedom of our people? How will we use our time here to enrich not just ourselves, but also our communities? And how will we value what our ancestors have given us in the same way that we value all the trappings of modern existence? How are we building our archives and our skills banks? How are we teaching our young people? How are we honoring our elders? And most importantly, how are we setting a fair value for our labor? Let us make our own iron and build our own road. May we clear the path to our people's prosperity together. Ashe.